go beyond 2020.
Look, in the Republican plan, we raised it for 1.5 trillion. We cut almost 5 trillion. Or made savings, found that we could find the savings. I think anytime somebody wants to raise the debt ceiling more, show me where we want to save more. That's really the framework that we laid out. We're open to discuss, but from the same perspective is, if we're able to save $5 trillion to raise the debt ceiling and you want to go longer, you got to be open to doing more items as well.
But are you talking more than that?
Out of all the things that are on the table, why draw a red line about work requirements, and do you have other red lines?
Look, I look at the bill we passed. We're the only ones that have been able to raise the debt ceiling. What we look to is limit, save, grow. I want to curve inflation. We all know how inflation created in America. Democrats spent $6 trillion more dollars. Every economist will tell you, everybody warned us about it. And then unfortunately, even the Treasury Secretary lied to us about it, said it was transitory, when it caused more damage and harm to every American. What we're able to do by limit is curb the inflation. We want to get off our dependency on China. How do we do that? We help our supply chain. We get more people out of poverty into work. And remember what we're talking about when we're talking about work requirements. It's only for those people who are able-bodied with no dependents. You could be going to school, no problem. You could be looking for work, no problem. Wisconsin just passed this by 82%. The president, as senator, voted for it. We find every statistical data, it helps Americans get better jobs and work. And then let's just turn it on its head. So if you take a Democrat position, what you're telling to Americans is, I need to go borrow more money from China to give to somebody who's able-bodied, no dependents, and pay them not to work. Well, what you really want to help them is get them into the workforce. Give them a sense of pride. Give them more in common. Every statistic tells you it helps the individual. And I want to help more Americans. I want to get us off the dependency of China. And I want to curve inflation. But more importantly, I want to stop that supply chain problem too. Look, if the Democrats want to pass a bill and we can go to conference, I'm more than welcome to see what the Democrats can pass. The Democrats control the Senate. They've had as much time as we have. They talked about it for a long time, but they've passed nothing. So I don't see why adding something new would help. Look, I've talked about a lot of things in it, and I'm not going to negotiate with all of you, but when we look at what we're trying to achieve here, I think it's very important that we help people get out of poverty.
Good evening, friends. Action is being taken. President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy are holding important meetings right now, and top Republicans say that it is possible for a debt ceiling deal to be signed this week. But it's important to note that concessions will have to be made, and it looks like stricter eligibility requirements for SNAP and Medicaid are also being considered. My dearest friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community, I will be announcing more winners this coming Friday for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, my friends, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Congressional leaders from both parties emerged from their meeting today with President Biden with some optimism. Officials say that Biden will have to be hands-on as debt talks continue, and with this, the White House has scrapped part of his upcoming trip abroad. So time is running short to raise the borrowing limit ahead of the June 1st deadline, which is the earliest date the Treasury Department says the government should be unable to pay its bills. While a deal has not been reached, talks are now getting more direct between House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's team and the White House. After today's meeting, Kevin McCarthy announced Republican Representative Garrett Graves and the Speaker's staff will negotiate with Budget Director Shalanda Young and White House aide Steve Ricchetti going forward regarding the debt limit. Speaker McCarthy said the difference in the process now is that they have a format, a structure. Biden called the meeting with congressional leaders productive and said he is confident they will continue to make progress towards avoiding a U.S. default. The president also took a swipe at Republicans, saying it's disappointing that Republicans are unwilling to discuss raising revenues, But he added that policy differences between the parties should not stop Congress from avoiding default. Speaker McCarthy also told reporters it is possible to get a deal by the end of this week, but said that he and the White House are still very far apart in negotiations. Today's meeting was originally scheduled for last week, but both sides decided to postpone it in order to give the staff-level talks space to proceed. Ahead of the White House meeting, Mitch McConnell criticized Biden for only scheduling 2 meetings with Speaker McCarthy and other congressional leaders, as the pressure for resolving the debt ceiling crisis has increased. Aides meeting at staff level have been working to identify issues with the highest potential for progress. That includes limits on federal spending, clawing back some unspent crisis aid, and changes to permitting rules for domestic energy production. It also includes a potential for tougher work requirements for some government aid programs. It is something that Republicans have proposed in the discussions. But Democrats have balked at the idea of bolstering work requirements. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has told his colleagues he will not accept new work requirements for social safety net programs. And Senate Majority Whip Dick Durbin said, "It's ridiculous that work requirements are at the center of debt ceiling negotiations." Senator Elizabeth Warren and Jack Reed have also warned that they would not back a bill imposing new work requirements for Medicaid. Hakeem Jeffries has indicated that he believes the deal could include a debt limit increase through 2024 and changes to permitting laws to ease the approval of energy projects. He also thinks that there could be some caps on discretionary spending and some crisis relief funds could be reclaimed. Perhaps the greatest challenge to negotiators is a timeline. Biden had been scheduled to depart Wednesday for a trip to Japan, Papua New Guinea, and Australia. But shortly after Tuesday's meeting, the White House confirmed that the trip will be cut short, canceling the final 2 legs of what was supposed to be a week-long trip in the Pacific region. The White House shared that Biden will return to the U.S. on Sunday in order to be back for meetings with congressional leaders to ensure that Congress takes action by the deadline to avert default. President Biden is expected to travel to Japan. According to the White House, President Biden will check in with Speaker McCarthy and other top lawmakers this week by phone and meet with them when he returns from his trip to Japan. Friends, thank you so much for being here and for being part of this community. This coming Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My dearest friends, the more videos that you comment on, the greater your chances of winning the giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed week.